Next up, Louisville, Georgia Tech. We've got Louisville 7.5-point, 8-point road favorites, and the total in this game currently 48.5 across the board. The total's been bet down. This is one where I'm probably going to stay off. I really think I like Louisville a lot this year. I look at them as a bet-on team. I like the hire of Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom's just a coach that I've made money with over the years, whether it was at Western Kentucky many years ago, whether it was at Purdue. We know Aiden O'Connell, who's right now lighting things up in the preseason for the Las Vegas Raiders in the NFL. Aiden O'Connell, look what Jeff Brom did with him. He just works well with quarterbacks, and I would expect more of the same here with him at Louisville. It's a good hire. The fact he got Purdue into bowl games and won bowl games at Purdue, that was an incredible accomplishment all by itself by Jeff Brom. They got to the Big Ten championship game one year under Jeff Brom at Purdue. So we know Brom can coach. There's no question. Brings in his son, former Louisville quarterback, Brian Brom, as his offensive coordinator. But the offense ain't going to be a change all that much. A chip off the old block. They're going to be a team that's going to look to throw the football. Jeff Brom's teams usually were very up-tempo. They've kind of scaled that back a little bit. He's kind of scaled that back a little bit the last few years. They haven't been playing with as much pace, as we saw in the Western Kentucky days or even early at Purdue. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of tempo they bring here coming into this season here for the Louisville Cardinals taking over this offense. And when you look, obviously, Jack Plummer is going to be the quarterback, and obviously someone Jeff Brom's very familiar with from their days at Purdue. So there's automatic, instant chemistry, instant cohesion, instant, that they know the system, they know the scheme. So that's huge for Louisville. They should be able to score points. And I think their defense, which, look, at times last year, a little hit or miss, defense really could be pretty solid this year for the Louisville Cardinals. And I think that the time was right to make a coaching change as far as I'm concerned. I think it was time to move on based on what we had seen last year from this Louisville team. And now, of course, they've done that. So interesting to see how it goes for Brom. So I am high on Louisville, but I am leaving the door open for Brent Key's Georgia Tech team to be better as well, because, look, the bottom fell out the last few years. It's been a disaster. But when you look at what they're bringing back this year, I like that, the defense, I think, is ready to take some steps forward. We know they've had some issues on that side of the ball. They've had a very anemic passing game, and even the run game has been hit or miss, but it's usually either they can run the football or they don't move the ball at all. And I think I'm kind of willing to buy low here on Haynes King, the Texas A&M transfer. Didn't go well for him there, obviously, at College Station. But he comes to Georgia Tech, clean slate, fresh start. I think does help them a little bit here. So these are actually two teams I would rather look to bet on rather than bet against. So I find this game very difficult to bet, at least from a side perspective. We'll see how it goes. The total 49.5. They've been betting it under, and I get it. I think Georgia Tech's still going to be pretty much run heavy and sprinkle in the pass with Haynes King, methodical offense. I think Louisville can put up points. The question is, can Georgia Tech put up enough to go over the total? The more it drops, the more I'm interested in the over, but I'm not rushing to bet it. Let's put it that way. What do you think here, Conor? Louisville, Georgia Tech.
Yeah, here we go. And you know me and Babano. This Louisville team, betting on them has been problems for me. Man, we need a little Louisville change on our graphics here. And you guys say, Jeff Brom here. What did you get from Plummer at quarterback? It was his best year last year at Cal that he had, but I still don't buy into it. And over a touchdown favorite here on the road in this game. The flip side, Georgia Tech. This is a team too. The last few years, they've been kind of got their ass kicked, and they've had 2 or 3 games where they come to life and play great, and against a better team. I don't know what we get from them. They definitely got some good transfers, their portal on the defensive end, because that defense got gashed on the ground. They have 190 yards.
Has to be better by default. Has to be. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, just how bad they were. Louisville's got decent running backs, like you talked about. But on the flip side, Georgia Tech, Haynes King, I don't know. But man, I got to see a little bit from him too. So I can't put my money, as much as I kind of want to be on the dog here with Georgia Tech. In the end, I'm just going to stay off. both these teams finished good against the number towards the end of the year too, as they were horrible early on.
Great. I like Louisville a lot. I'm not betting against Louisville right now, especially in this spot, but I also wouldn't be surprised if there's some sneaky improvement from Georgia Tech this season. But again, that remains to be seen.